everyone, and welcome to another edition of Water Wellness and the importance that water has on our lives. My name is Elizabeth McGarry. Today, University of Maryland Extension Water Quality Specialist Dr. Andy Lazor is going to talk about ponds and maintaining pond health. Andy, what do you mean by pond health and why is this so important?
Yeah, good question, Elizabeth, and hello everybody out there. First off, I think it's important to know a little bit about ponds. And first off, they're very common throughout the United States, and they're used for lots of different purposes. Such thing as irrigation and a whole host of recreational activities, fishing, swimming, just enjoying nature. We use them to water livestock. They're there to reduce soil erosion. We use them for urban stormwater management and even water gardens. So I like to share and help people understand that ponds are a living aquatic ecosystem, dynamic, changing, and it's very important for the health of that ecosystem and the wide variety of organisms that live in it to manage and maintain good water quality. So managing ponds to ensure good water quality is important to understand. You need to know some of the basics, and that's what we're going to touch on today.
Okay, so what are some things that a pond owner can do to help their pond?
Well, there's a couple of things, and I'm going to share just some of the basics, and then I refer folks to our website that has some videos and some publications on this topic. But one thing is to understand that, again, a pond is dynamic ecosystem, so things are changing. But there are important things that we all probably are aware of. Oxygen, for example, pH, nutrients, and even the types of plants that we have out there. If you look at ponds or you drive by ponds, you'll see different types of plants. And so a lot of those plants provide great benefits to a pond. So again, a pond is dynamic. These things such as oxygen are fluctuating throughout the day. And oxygen, if you think about it, where's it coming from? Well, it's coming from aquatic plants, green plants that are photosynthesizing during the daylight hours, and so therefore they're producing oxygen. So all day long they're producing oxygen, and so the greatest oxygen that we have typically is in the afternoon hours. But all that aquatic life, the fish, even the plants, the bacteria in the pond, the worms, everything is consuming oxygen throughout that day. And so what happens is that the oxygen tends to be lowest in the early morning hours. So we have this natural swing, and that's Mother Nature doing its thing. And that's a great thing because that oxygen is so important to all that aquatic life. But you add in, like today's summer heat, warm water holds less oxygen, and therefore these summer heat conditions can be stressful. So not only might you have very low oxygen in the morning, but that heat itself can put stress on fish and other organisms. So again, one management practice might be to include aeration in your pond, and there's various ways to do that through mechanical aeration. So that can help maintain more of an even oxygen level throughout that 24-hour period. So that's one thing. And then I already mentioned aquatic plants, and this is probably the number one question or concern that I get an email from pond owners, and that's they've got a lot of plants. Well, it's important to try to maintain as much as you can that healthy balance. Some plants are very good for ponds, but too many can be a problem and interfere with your use. You can imagine if your pond is choked out with whether it's duckweed or filamentous algae, that long stringy algae, and you're trying to swim. Well, you're going to come out green, right? Or if you're trying to fish, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's going to happen if you have a lot of nutrients and sediment going into a pond. So that's a management practice that we use and recommend, just to try to prevent that extra nutrients, nitrogen and phosphorus, from entering the pond, because if it does, the plants are just going to take advantage of it and grow. So plants are great because they help filter out nitrogen and they produce oxygen, as I mentioned, but too many plants can be a problem. So minimize the nutrients coming into the pond. You can do that by just cutting back on your fertilizer, encouraging your neighbors not to fertilize as much. You can also just put out a pond buffer. That's leaving plants naturally to grow around the perimeter of the pond, and that can help trap some of the nitrogen as well as the sediment. So those are two basic practices that people can adopt to help maintain their ponds. And so it gets back to, in some cases, prevention. We're going to try to prevent nutrients, excessive nutrients coming in our ponds. So those are two key management practices. I encourage you to get back in touch with us if you have any questions.
Thank you, Andy. If you'd like more information on water quality, septics, wells, groundwater, or ponds, please check out our YouTube channel for videos and podcasts. That's Water Quality University of Maryland Extension. Or our website. You can Google UME Wells and Septics, or our Facebook page, University of Maryland Water Quality. Also, please register through our website for our next Wednesday water webinar for August 21st, where Andy will discuss pond management tips. Thank you all for tuning in.